Well, good morning, everybody. I thought I'd do a motivational speech this morning. But those who don't normally see me live on camera, I am actually here. I normally do my radio shows that are quite behind the scenes. I'm concentrating, so that's why I'm not on camera all the time. But here I am. I'm having a great Thursday morning. I hope you guys are too. And today I wanted to talk about how life is actually hard. Well, in a metaphorical sense, anyway. But what I can say to you is that it's about how to live a great life, despite the fact that life is actually difficult. You know, everyone wants to be happy in life, and we all want to live a perfect life. We all want that great job or have a successful business. We all want to be married to Mr. Right or Mrs. Perfect. We all want to have great kids. That's proven fact. We all want to have friends that stick by us come rain or shine. We want to be able to have all of the material things life has to offer. And or have all our problems just disappear. Now, everybody wishes for good life, but it may be different on different levels. One person may define a good life one way and another may describe it another way. For one person, a good life may be just having 3 meals a day and a roof over their head. For another, it may be having a huge mansion, a couple of $1 million in the bank. Hey, winning the lottery is great. There are different levels and meanings to what a good life is. But whatever your definition is of it, there is perhaps one thing that you may have in common with many other people. You may want that good life stress-free. You want to have it without having to work hard or struggle so much for it. And that's a normal human expectation. Nobody likes to struggle through life. Unfortunately, though, that is also what may be stopping you from having that great life. The thought of all of that work and all that planning, overcoming hurdles and resistance is enough to make a lot of people give up before they even start. It can seem too overwhelming, and for many, it just doesn't seem to be worth it. It's like being drained of energy just at the thought of running a marathon. I mean, who wants to run a marathon and be tired? Before you are even at the starting line, the thought of all that running just scares you and it tires you so much mentally that you just decide not to go for it. You give up. It's just too hard. You know, one of my favorite books is titled The Road Less Traveled by M. Scott Peck. The first sentence of this book is, life is difficult. Now, if you pick up a book and the first thing it tells you is life is difficult, you may just think that this book is going to get reassuring and encouraging after such a start. But as Peck goes through goes on to explain, once you accept that life is hard, it no longer becomes an issue that is difficult. And he says, once we know that life is difficult, once we truly understand and accept it, then life is no longer difficult. And in life, you will always have difficulties getting anything you want. And it is very rare to get anything in life without some sort of degree of effort. Only if you win the lottery, you will have everything without effort. And even then, that's a rarity. But it's a risk. And even then, you would have had to go out and buy that lottery ticket anyway, so it's not free at all. Life is hard. Your boss will not always be the nicest person in the world. Your job will have challenges that you did not foresee. Your workmates will sometimes be a pain in the goddamn ass. You won't always get the salary and recognition that you want and deserve. Your clients may not be the nicest people in the world. Life is hard. Your kids won't always be the ideal kids that you want them to be. Your wife, your husband, your partner may not be as perfect as you thought they were when you married them. In fact, I guarantee you they're not. Let's be real. Your home may not be the ideal place that you want to be. You may not be the perfect wife or the perfect husband that you once were. You may not even be the same person you once were. Life is hard. Running a business is not as easy as you thought it would be. No one is lining up to bring you money to your business, even though you are ready and a really nice person and your business has great products to offer. I could go on and on and on with all these examples, but the bottom line is life is hard. I don't mean to say all this in that you don't deserve a break. I'm saying that you are not justified in thinking that you deserve more than what you have gotten from life and the world to this point. I'm not saying that you are not justified in feeling the way that you feel. I know that you have had it tough at times. I know that at times you felt that it's all very confusing and just too hard. I mean, you've worked very hard. You've done all that you possibly could in your life, and whether it is at work or at home, or even in your family. But things just don't seem to have worked out as well as you planned or even hoped. It just seems to have gone wrong and you don't know or understand how or why. But that's okay. It's normal. But that's what's being human. You are human. That's what it's all about. That's what life is about. Life is hard. Accept it. If you accept that, and once you do, you will feel better about your circumstances. Then you won't have to think of your situation as anything but what is common to every human being. You're not alone. Then you will think about your situation as a part of life, not just another bump in the road. You will no longer beat yourself up about how bad things are or how you are not doing so well in one area or another. You will realize that you are only human. You make mistakes just like everybody else. You are not perfect just like everybody else. But don't stop there. Accepting that life is hard does not mean that you accept every circumstance and simply go on with the flow. You see, there are two sides to this story. There is another side to this coin. And on one side of the coin is where you have the words life is hard inscribed. But if you turn that coin over, you will find 5 very small but powerful words. And they read, you can make it better. And that's one of the most beautiful things about life. You can make your life better. You can have total responsibility for what you do and how you respond to the fact that life is hard. And as the now cliche saying goes, if life hands you lemons, make lemonade. Accepting that life is hard comes with accepting that you have the responsibility to make it better. Not only do you have the responsibility to make it better, you have the ability and the power to make it better. You can make it better Become a better employee and someone worth giving more responsibilities at work. The promotions and the better pay are sure to follow one way or another. You can make it better. Learn how to raise better kids and have a happy home. Become the good husband or wife you would like your spouse to be. You can make it better. Learn how to turn that business around. Gain the extra skills that you need to run a successful business. Ask for help. You see, the only person you have any control over is yourself. You can't change other people. Let's take the example of marriage for a moment. Notice that I didn't say you should turn your husband or spouse into an ideal spouse. I said you should become the ideal husband or wife you want your spouse to be. It's about you. Then once you become such a person, you may have several choices as to how you relate to your spouse. And firstly, once you are as near perfect as a spouse as anyone can be, and your husband or wife might see the difference and also decide to change for the better. Or they may just change naturally as a response to your new attitude. Secondly, if they don't change, perhaps you will have reached a new level of maturity for yourself where you are content and satisfied with who they are and their faults no longer bother you. Or thirdly, in some cases, such as in an abusive relationship or in relationships that are a risk to your health, you may reach a level of self-acceptance and courage where you are able to leave that abusive or unfaithful partner. Whatever the case may be, this example illustrates one other important fact about the fact that life is hard and taking responsibility, and that is you always have choices. No matter what the situation you are in, you have a choice. No matter how bad things are, you have a choice. No matter what you think you can or cannot do, you have a choice. Now, it may not be as easy, an easy choice by any means. That's not what life's about. It may be a difficult choice, and the road you decide to take may be a tough one. Who said life was easy? It may push you away out of your comfort zone. It may mean that in the initial period of your life, it may get even harder than it already is. But it is a choice nonetheless. A lot of times you will actually find that the choices are not as hard as you thought they were. You may just have shut off your mind from seeing those choices and possibilities because you thought you had no choice. Once you become open to the idea that you are responsible for your life and that you have choices, you will find that you are no longer stuck because life is hard. At that point, life is still hard, but you have the final say. Your life becomes more meaningful and purposeful. And it doesn't matter what anyone says you can and can't do. It doesn't matter what opinions others have for you for life, for your life, and what they consider possible. They can't walk a mile in your shoes. If you believe in yourself, then anything is possible. Why is it that we don't believe it ourselves? As soon as things get tough in our lives, we start doubting. We all do it. We're human. We start thinking that we may not make it, stressing, worrying, imagining things that may go wrong in the future. We need to understand that the human mind is the most powerful tool we own, but it also can be the most destructive. We all sabotage ourselves. And we need to learn how to take control of the direction of our mind and our emotions. Your mind is going to provide you your greatest challenges in life because it's so powerful. So if you can conquer your mind, you can pretty much conquer anything else around you. Literally. When writing the story of your life, make sure you hold the pen. Make sure that not only that you hold the pen, but you write the script from your heart. Be brave when writing your script. It's your story, and there are no limits to what you can have, what you can do, or what you can be. But the question is, how bad do you want it? You have to prove it to yourself that you want it bad enough, and it's got to hurt you to not get it. And that's when you're going to learn to conquer your mind. Your mind will no longer be able to say no because your inner heart and mind are aligned. And nothing can stop you from that point onwards. It's easy to be all positive and consistent when everything is going your way. But that's not life. It's not realistic. Are you going to be one of those very few to stand up when things are tough, when everything is going against you? Will you be able to believe in what's right and what brings results into your life? That, my friends, is when your character will shine. That's when your story will be born. Your story is valuable. Your story of success. You can't build a story if you stop now, if you give up. The world is full of people who gave up. The world needs hope. We all do. The world needs you to stand up, to fight through your challenging moments, to shine through the dark times, to love through the hate, and to be the difference in an indifferent world, to believe in yourself. Most people are bloated with ordinary thoughts and mindsets. They're so full of average that they have no more appetite. But you have to have an appetite for the extraordinary, to be extraordinary. Beyond what people are doing. Think beyond them. There will always be doubters. And people below you, and people trying to put you down so they feel higher. But you got to stay true to yourself. Believe in your mind. Have some tunnel vision. Then one beautiful day, you will have your moment. Because anything is possible if you just believe. Feed your dreams. If you can suffer through setbacks, through pain, rise up with resilience once again and again and again. One day, this world will tap you on the shoulder and say, this is your time to shine. You can have and be and do anything you want. You just have to believe. It's easy to have faith. Everything is going to work out when everything is working out. It's much harder to have faith when you are facing challenges in your life. But that is exactly what you need to apply your faith. Because faith is believing in the unseen. Faith is taking the first step, taking that risk. Faith is jumping into the deep end, knowing everything will be okay. It's easy to be positive when everything is working out, but it's much harder, much, much harder when nothing is working out. And that's when we need it the most. Everything is worth the prize. And it is worth the fight. Everything worth the prize will require a real fight to achieve that prize. If you want the prize, you can't quit at halftime. You can't quit at mid-season. You must play the whole game. Pre-season, through the cold, through the darkness, through the challenges that the opponents. You'll be knocked down, but you must get up. Keep fighting. Dig deeper. And discover your true strength. And when you have the will, you'll win the real prize. Character, expansion, you rising to the next level. If I survive the storm, I can outdo the norm. To break through the norm, I must survive the storms. To have more than most, I must do more than most, believe more than most, learn more than most, sacrifice more than most, believe more than most. Now say to yourself, long term, I know what I need that will come my way. Everything I need will come my way. Long term, I know if I keep it, I will be rewarded. Keep going. Long term, I know consistency pays off. And that includes patience. Long term, I know all my actions, all my discipline, all my integrity will pay off in a big way. I have faith everything will work out. And in the end, all will be fine. If I keep working, if I keep learning, if I continue to evolve, if I continue to adapt, if I learn new ways, setbacks aren't always negative. And sometimes they are sent to guide us in a much bigger and better direction. But if you can only see that, if you show a character in those hard times, if you remain open-minded in the hard times, if you show strength through your struggles, don't say, why me? In fact, that's the worst thing you could possibly say. I hate people when they say, why me? Ask yourself, how can I come out of this stronger? What can I learn? In the hard times, we see who people really have, who people really are, have character. In the hard times, we see what people are really made of. But what are you made of? Tell me, what are you made of? I'll tell you. Character, expansion, growth, and pride. Character, expansion, growth, and pride. Dig deep. Find that strength that lives inside of you. Trust that if you keep doing your thing, you will be rewarded. It might not happen right away, and it rarely does, but it will happen if you keep going. It's not a race, but you can surely run that race. Don't allow regret to enter your life. And don't you dare look back on your life in 5 years and think, I could have done more. If I'd only just stuck it out, I could have been in a much better position. Hell no. Look back at it with pride. Look back and be able to say to yourself, it wasn't easy, but I am so proud I stuck it out because I got my rewards. Make sure that your story is one of strength. Live in the present moment. Don't look in the past. Past is already done. You can't change it. Make sure your story is of someone who refused to give up, refused to settle, refused to be normal. Keep going. Your future self is begging you. I'm cheering you on, and I love you. And that's the Thursday morning motivation. I hope you enjoyed that. I will be back next Thursday with another set of motivation. But until then, you can go to my website at soma-fusion.com for more details. I am a life coach and executive coach practitioner. I'm also a therapist as well. So many of my services are offered up through there. You can go check my website out and check many articles out that I've written. You can find me on social media, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter. But until then, you guys have a lovely day. And I will talk to you soon. Oh, and don't forget, my radio show next Tuesday. I'm not sure what the subject's going to be yet, but it'll definitely be there. Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern on the Global Enlightenment Radio Network. Have a great day, guys.